Good evening and welcome to 22 News at 5:30. I'm Ciara Speller. An independent investigation report released today found leadership at the Holyoke Soldiers Home had substantial errors and failures as the coronavirus began to spread, leading to the death of more than 70 veterans. 22 News is working for you with live team coverage tonight. We begin with 22 News anchor and I-Team reporter Don Shipman. He's live at the Soldiers Home with a breakdown of today's report.
Ciara, good evening. Yeah, really a lot has changed over the course of the past 3 months. The one good thing out of all of this is that right now there are no positive cases for COVID-19 at the Holyoke Soldiers Home, but the death count is staggering. Look over there because you can see all of those flags that are placed right in front of the Holyoke Soldiers Home, indicating each person who has died from COVID-19 at the home. Now, that report that was released today says that the superintendent of the Holyoke Soldiers Home, Bennett Walsh, wasn't qualified to manage a long-term care facility. And he and his leadership team made decisions that were, quote, utterly baffling from an infectious control perspective. Now, among them was the decision to move veterans from one dementia unit to another, both of which housed veterans who already had the virus. The report said that this decision was catastrophic. Staff described the move as, quote, total pandemonium when hell broke loose and a nightmare. And one staff member stated that she, quote, will never get those images out of my head. What we did, what was done to those veterans, and thought, my God, where is the respect and dignity for these men? Now, that team of independent investigators hired by the governor's office conducted more than 100 interviews, 100 witnesses, and reviewed more than 17,000 documents. As a result of the investigation, the Massachusetts Secretary of Veterans Affairs was asked to resign. We have continuing live coverage of all of this. Family members, of course, have been very distraught about all of this, and we've been checking in with them tonight. 22 News I-Team reporter Mike Mascadrelli has reaction from family members this evening.
Well, Don, family members had long been pointing out to 22 News the poor management of the coronavirus by the Holyoke Soldiers Home. Well, today that's exactly what the state said happened. The state report revealed substantial errors and failures by the home's leadership, which likely led to the 76 COVID-related deaths. It also stated that Superintendent Bennett Walsh was not qualified to manage a long-term care facility and that the Department of Veterans Services failed to effectively oversee the home. But one family member told 22 News Superintendent Walsh should not be blamed for the coronavirus spreading at the facility.
I've met him, and he's not the type of person that would, fabricate things. And I truly believe that, then he proved it, that he had contacted the higher-ups.
Regensberger said her father, who you saw there in the photo, became sick after being put in a room with another veteran. There were no masks or other preventative measures taken. And she said her father did recover. He's still living at the Holyoke Soldiers Home. That report also said there was no evidence that Walsh violated any of the state's reporting requirements for COVID-19 test results in deaths. Working for you in Holyoke, Mike Mascadrelli, 22 News.
Now, Superintendent Bennett Walsh has been on administrative leave since all of this went down just about 3 months ago. Again, still on administrative leave, but the governor today in that news conference said that the state is working now to relieve him of that position. Now, in the meantime, we know that he was recommended for the job by a then state representative from here in Western Massachusetts. And 22 News State House reporter Jody Reed joins us live from Boston to explain why today's report showed that Walsh was unqualified for the job.
Then Westfield State Representative John Vilas, who is now a state senator, recommended that Bennett Walsh apply for the superintendent job. And the report shows that Vilas knew Walsh was unqualified to fulfill the job's duties. A job posting in the Boston Globe indicated that the Soldiers Home saw an experienced administrator, and the ideal candidate would have a proven track record in supervising, operating a residential outpatient facility, managing budgets, and acute care programs for veterans. During today's news conference, the governor was asked if he knew about Walsh or his ties to Vilas.
I don't know. The report speaks to the fact that the board really wanted Bennett Walsh to have that job. And I can tell you that the first time I ever met him was when talked to him was when we swore him in.
According to the report, when Walsh told Vilas that he did not have a clinical background, Vilas assured him that that was not a requirement for the job. We reached out to Senator Vilas today, but we have not heard back. Working for you at the State House in Boston, Jody Reed, 22 News.
Now, a coalition of veterans is calling for renovations here at the Holyoke Soldiers Home. And in fact, the governor was asked about renovations here at the Soldiers Home today during that news conference, and he said that they're looking into that. Tonight, 22 News reporter Christina Demores is joining us now live from Chicopee, where there's a standout taking place.
Don, nearly 1,500 people have signed this petition in support of the coalition's call to action. A coalition of veterans, family members, and supporters are conducting several standouts throughout the Pioneer Valley this week to draw awareness and support for major renovations to the Soldiers Home in Holyoke. Significant constructions would include a new wing at the facility. The effort is all part of a campaign to tell Governor Charlie Baker to immediately approve funding for major renovation and additions to the Soldiers Home. The coalition's petition states that conditions at the facility are unacceptable and violate the patient rights of veterans for safe and adequate care. One supporter told 22 News he is here today because veterans deserve better facilities.
To bring their dignity back. I mean, there's a lot of people that lost their lives. I mean, it's just so tragic. And I mean by dignity is that you have your own bathroom, you know, or there's one or two people using it, not 4 per room.
The Military Order of the Purple Heart has also sent a letter to the Baker-Polito administration in support of construction at the Soldiers Home. This is following support from the Massachusetts Department of Veterans of Foreign Wars, as well as 25 family members of veterans from the Soldiers Home. Organizers say they may move to the other locations in Massachusetts to include the Boston area as necessary to achieve the support needed. Another standout will take place on Friday. You can get those details as well as the petition on WWLP.com. Working for you live in Chicopee, Christina Demores, 22 News.
And coming up new at 6 o'clock, we hope to have a live interview with the mayor of Holyoke, Alex Morse, who is widely thought of as the whistleblower in this case. And of course, we're going to continue our coverage online at WWLP.com. Also, the 22 News mobile app for the latest developments on the investigation. We're gathering new information as we speak, and another report coming up tonight on 22 News at 10 and 11. For now, though, we're live here in Holyoke. Don Shipman, 22 News.